Hello, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and do another quick little Quixel demo here. And this time I'm going to focus on showing you how to use your own assets. So I'm going to go over to Setup, and under Type, we're going to pick Custom Model. And I'm just going to grab a model that I made. Um, this model I baked maps for it inside of Houdini. So I've got a normal map that's already been derived from a high res model. So I'm going to open this up, and here's my boulder. And since I've got those maps, the normal map, I'm going to just load that in. And I got it right here. And you're going to see if you do this, that the normal map's screwed up. You can see it doesn't look right. Um, and all you have to do is go under placement right here. And then we're going to go to tiling, and that's going to actually use the UVs. And there's a few little errors, bake errors in here, but not a big deal. We're going to pretty much cover all of this stuff up. So for my solid layer, I'm just going to choose kind of a dark gray blue, something like this. That'll work. And we've got a normal map here. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Um, so first thing I'm going to do is start building up our rock layer. I'll just go ahead and use this jagged rock. And we're going to see that it doesn't look too hot. It looks kind of weird. So the first thing we're going to do is go down to displacement and turn that strength down, because that's the thing that's messing us up the most. Turn that down to 0. And this doesn't look too bad, so let's go ahead and we're going to tile this and raise the repetitions up, just so the scale now feels way better. I think it was too big before. Maybe split the difference. That should work. So now we've got a pretty nice boulder that's a custom asset that quick. But we're not done yet. Let's go ahead and add some stuff into this. So let's just break this up a little bit with some noise. And we're going to make a solid, add a mass stack, noise, and simplex. And let's just bump the amplitude up so we can see it. And this should give us some nice coverage. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of noise to it. And then I'm going to go to the albedo and right click and pick underline so it matches our underline rock. And then I'm going to darken it up like that. And now I'm going to add some more stuff to this mask stack. So I'm going to go over here to texture map, and let's pick a library asset. And I'm just going to pick some kind of noise, maybe this damaged wallpaper. And again, I'm going to pick the channel inside of this noise. So there's all kinds of channels for us to use. And I'm going to flip on my active mask just so I can see what it's giving us. Look at normal. Nope. Maybe specular. Definitely not. Cavity. Nope. I think the placement's probably going to be our best bet. And then we're going to just tweak these ranges to get some darks and lights in there. And then I'm going to set this to multiply. And that's going to multiply over this bottom noise. Or at least it should. Let's try overlay. Helps if the texture map is on. Why? Like this is working for us. The range might be, let's see. All right, let's delete that and try something else. Let's try another noise and multiply that. Yeah, I've been noticing there are some times with Quixel that things kind of they don't freeze up, but they definitely don't, like the viewport doesn't show us what's going on. So let's just try something else here. Here, I'm gonna put this on. So, okay, it is working. Frequency up. Yeah, see, I just had to go in and out real quick and just change it, and then now it works. It's crazy. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and try this texture map again. And library, grab that noise, displacement, set this to multiply. There, that's what I'm looking for. Get in here. Some different blend modes. Bring this down a little bit. And then I'm just going to bring the opacity down. All I'm trying to do is break up that surface. And that works. All right, let's add some liquid to this. So for that, I'm going to do a little bit of a trick. So I'm going to grab these 3 layers and I'm going to group them. We're just going to call this base. Then I'm going to duplicate that. And then I'm going to put a liquid layer in between the two. And then I'm going to add a mask deck to this base layer. And I want a paint layer for this. So let's see. Paint a mask. So I need a paint mask, and I'm just gonna delete these just to show you what I'm doing. All right, so down here I'm gonna click paint a mask. So this will allow me to paint a mask on here, and you'll see wherever I paint is gonna put there's gonna be water, moisture. So I'm just gonna paint this real quick, just looking at areas where I think like moisture might build up or leak out or whatever. And really, I wouldn't be precious about this. I'm just throwing in a bunch of strokes. To move your light, if you want to see back here, it's Shift right click, and then you can see behind your objects. So let's put some liquid in here. Display. And maybe just add some more of this bigger brush of it. Something like that. And that works for me. And then last but not least, let's see if we can throw some snow on here, just out of curiosity. All right, so there's our snow, and I'm going to throw another mass stack. And here I'm going to use a normal, and I'm going to push it so it's working vertically. And now I'm going to squeeze some of this out here. So I just want it on the areas that are kind of sticking out, like those little ledges. That looks really cool. The liquid layer, going to bring the opacity down just a little bit. It's just a little too strong. And we can also mess with some of the other settings for that as well. And we get nice dry spots and then some liquid and then there's some cool snow. And we can also add a displacement to this as well. So down in that base, we have this Jagger rock. Let's add just a little bit of displacement in here just to break up the edges like that. And you'll notice this kind of seam back here, and this is just because this geometry isn't tessellated, that's all. Now it looks like we have to change our liquid threshold and move that down a little bit. And I'm going to change the color as well to something more blue-gray. So again, really fast, within about 10 minutes or so, we have a nice custom asset. And this is totally fine for your assignment as well. Like you would have sculpted this rock, and now we're just texturing it. So that works cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete all this, and we're gonna do something else with this rock just real quick. So delete everything, start fresh. So we'll bring our normal map back in, turn it placement to tiling. There we go. Good. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more of a stylized piece. So go down here, pick kind of a warm color. This. And let's duplicate that. I'll make a little bit of a lighter color here and add a mask stack. And then we are going to add a position gradient. And let's just test this. This looks good. Let's mess with the range. That work. So I'm going to grab the highlights of this piece here. So let's go ahead, add a solid, and I'm going to grab this color and then a little bit lighter and add a mask stack and then a curvature. Probably see where I'm going with this. And let's just do edges only and then bump those levels up. Bit. And let's go ahead and add a surface and we'll do an imperfection. Grab this window stain. And all we want here is the albedo, so we're going to hide everything else. And let's see here, what else can we do? We'll set our height blending. Just want to see what's in this. I guess the albedo channel is not in here. All right, let's see where else we're storing maps for the roughness. Okay, we'll use this roughness channel. That'll work just fine. All right. Go ahead and add a math stack. Let's try texture map. Other library asset. I'll grab this one. Go into a range with this. That's pretty cool. Wrap the underlying. Let's go ahead and crank that up. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger too. Let's see here. Turned up match to underline a little bit. Let's see what we get with tiling. I'm gonna use something new. I'm gonna use a scatter on this, just so we can get some more coverage. And that actually it's exactly what I was looking for. So let's just kind of do this. Think I'm gonna put this underneath. Yeah. There we go. So within another 5 minutes, you have a stylized asset. And what's cool about this is you could make this any color you want. I mean, it could be like crazy pink. And you put this in a scene, there's a definite stylized border that you might see in something like Fortnite or something like that. So that's it. Just a little another quick tutorial on Quixel Mixer, just to show you what you could do with your own assets. Again, this normal map isn't the best. I just did it really quick. It's very low res, so your results will definitely be better than that. But I wanted to show that you could take your own asset and texture it pretty quickly inside Mixer. And that's it. Thanks, everybody.